Hey guys, back to another business story, and we have tons of them, tons and tons. And I know that there is a story out there that we will be telling that will be able to help you, or you might enjoy, or we might end up doing business together and might end up being friends. The more friends, it's always good to have friends. And maybe it just makes a difference. You've hit a blank, your back's against the wall, and maybe one of these videos can actually give you a way out. Now, once again, I always say it, that my stories are things that have happened to me. They're real. They not things that have been made up. And, people make themselves out to be all these big things that they're not. Mine has been tough journeys, a lot of tears along the way, a lot of smiles along the way, different types, but you will get to hear of all of them as we go along. Now, before we carry on, just remember to subscribe, because if you subscribe, you'll never miss anything. You can just press that bell and subscribe button, and you'll always know whenever there's a new clip that is coming out there. So I'd hate for you to miss any one of them. And once again, like I say, I really hope that you will find content that will be able to help you, or just something that you might say, you know what, I want to end up doing business with a deal maker, whatever the case might be. So let's talk a little bit more about my journey with the pool table. So why I'm getting to that one, we have tons and tons and tons of stories, but I've received quite a lot of inquiries on that, asking me to please discuss a little bit more on that type of business, how I became successful in that type of business, and what did I do differently than everybody else. And more than happy to discuss that. So here we go. So basically, I had no money. I had no money at all, and there were some very big guys in this industry, and it was being monopolized by a handful of people. And here's this young guy, no money, and he wants to get into this market, and the chances that was going to happen was slim to none. And that is the biggest mistake that people do, because they become arrogant, they become too confident, and that is where the opportunity lies at the end of the day, because there's always an opportunity for somebody that wants to work, somebody that wants to make a difference for the correct reason. So now I tell you the story as it goes like this. I have a friend, and he is still today my friend. He was my business partner, and we have gone through a lot together. His name is Brent Evans. As I always say, I always mention names, I always say things so people know that there is truth to the stories, and they are real, and they are not just fairy tale stories. So Brent Evans, wonderful person, great guy. Once again, have a lot of respect for him. He's the type of person that stood by me when I had nothing. And over the years, we built this company called Reno Entertainment together. And like I said, we became a force to be reckoned with. Now, once again, I always say it. You can't grow without people. You can't. You need people around you. You need strong people. And there's always a saying, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. I mean, he was my friend, and I ended up becoming very, very successful. And I have a lot of friends, and I will mention them as we go along in our video clips, and different relationships that I've had with my friends, and what value they have brought to me and what value I've given to them. But today we are talking about Reno Entertainment, we are talking about Brent Evans, and we are talking how we managed to climb the ladder from a nobody to a something, and became a force to be reckoned with. So we were struggling, we had no money, and eventually we were introduced by a supplier, and he said to us, they do the Carling Black Label, which is SAB. I mean, go anywhere, you'll see SAB. I mean, alcohol, you'll find it everywhere. So yeah, eventually it was brought out that they would do a branded pool table called the Black Label. And in any case, I'm an operator, and I was given this opportunity, and we eventually went to meet all these corporate type of people and these big guys. You're talking SAB, you're talking different high level and whatever, and yes, there's nobody. But you know what, at the end of the day, we were given the opportunity, we were presented. They wanted to see what it would do to their sales, putting it out there in the shebeens, in the pubs, and would it create bigger sales, and they would monitor it. So eventually we started with that, and it did bring sales, and they were very pleased with it, and eventually they rolled out with more and more. I was one of the fortunate people to have these guys saying, what, you're the guy that we want to roll out at that point of time. And we eventually had a product that was so much in demand because it was a branded table, so it was beautiful. It fitted in your pub, it fitted in your shebeen. But once again, it did actually push up, sales, because the more people saw the product, the more people would actually drink. So eventually we could give value, and eventually I started to make a name for myself. So eventually people started to know, you needed a Carling Black Label pool table, phone Kyriacos, Reno Entertainment, phone Brent, Kyriacos, Brent, whoever you needed to phone out of the two, you would actually end up getting the Carling Black Label. And eventually we started with that. We eventually started, to put out jukeboxes, and jukeboxes is music. And if you remember many years ago, there was Kwaito was the thing to be, and there was a singer by the name of Mendoza. Everybody knows who Mendoza was, and let me tell you something. We used to work with CDs. It was a CD player in a jukebox, and if you put that Mendoza CD, it just printed money. I'm telling you, that guy just knew how to create a vibe. I mean, we used to go to Greek functions and Greek weddings. I mean, you used to put Mendoza on, and it just happened. Great singer, did exceptionally well. It created more sales because the atmospheres became so much better. But we offered value to clients. You could actually phone us after hours. We would run, we would sort it out, because at the end of the day, we only as strong as the clients out there. So we gave service. Our clients that we were giving service to was giving service to their clients, and it ended up being a win-win for everybody. At that time, shebeens were really struggling in those days. I mean, I saw so many people that would actually take one case of beer, sell it, go with a wheelbarrow to a supplier, buy a cold. They didn't have fridges, a lot of them in the old days, and buy a cold case, come back, sell that. But because we were offering value to our clients were offering value to their clients, it started to become a win-win. Today, some of these guys from the shebeens have become very, very successful business people. I see some of them have become big business people. Some of them have ended up in politics. Other people have ended up owning properties. Other people have ended up owning so many different types of business. And, I was part of that journey in the beginning when these were the type of people that would actually have to go with a wheelbarrow and take a case of beer, or 2 cases of beers, or 3 cases of beers, buy cold ones, bring them back and sell. And let me tell you something. Each and every person wanted to succeed, and that is why it became a win-win formula at the end of the day. So was a nobody, because nobody knows who you are until you become the somebody, until people start to see you and things are happening. So that's where it ended up, and Reno Entertainment was born, and we were actually doing things, and we were offering value. But we would go out on Sundays, we would go out on Saturdays, we would go out on public holidays. You phoned, we went out. You needed machines, we would go out. That's what we did. We gave service. We knew how important clients were. If you looked after your clients looked after you. People try to compete with us. People try to say, listen, go with us and leave this company. And people were so loyal to us. And eventually, And we will talk about this, what happens when you become too big. You actually take your eye off the ball and you start to end up making mistakes. And we will talk about that, because these are the type of stories I want to help you with. So what I'm trying to say is there are many people who start businesses without money, and I was one of them. But again, we could show value to companies like SAB, and we could show what this product would actually do in forms of sales, and eventually we ended up developing those relationships. So what I'm trying to say to you is show the value. Value is so important. If you show the value, you will grow. If you're prepared to give service, you will grow. If you are not arrogant, you will grow. If you can learn to respect your clients, you will grow. And most importantly, if you can be proud of what you do, you will grow. And myself and Brent Evans, we grew. And like I say, he was with over 25 years with me till today. We are friends. We've had great relationship over the years, and that is why I believe I've been so successful over the years, is because of the relationships that I have with people. And I will talk about different types of relationships in other clips, and I will tell you what happens when people become greedy and when mistakes get made. And I will tell you about my mistakes, and I will tell you about my failures, and I will tell you what I needed to do to get to the next level. But once again, you need to remember, if you're not proud of what you do, if you are not a type of person that is going to think of the next person in the sense of giving value, giving service, respecting the people that actually put the food on your table, respect the people that pay for that roof over your head, you're not going to succeed. You're not going to succeed. I tell you what, I was given so many blessings in my life, many, many blessings. And I've said it before, you know what? There's a time when we hit our heads, and that's a time we close our eyes and we pray. And I always say, we always seem to always do it only once we hit our heads, and you shouldn't do that. You should always be thankful. You should always say thank you. Thank you. And I am very grateful. I'm very grateful. Even the times when I was at the bottom, I had nothing. But I had health. I had so much to be grateful. I had started a family. Maybe I didn't have money, but we had so much laughter. I was rich. I was rich in my family with love. I was rich and I was blessed with health. Money comes later on in life. If you're chasing money, you will get off track. If your principles are correct, your values are correct, the money will come. They will come. But there's so much to be grateful for. There's so much to say thank you for. There's so much to actually say thank you. You are blessed. I don't know your situation, and I say it many times, so I don't know your situation, but I know that the majority of people are blessed, and they are wealthy. They are wealthy with health and with love, and they've been blessed with so many other things, and the money will come. So what I'm saying is, I was given that blessing, and I took it and I grew it, but I learned to respect. I gave value. These are the type of people that were feeding me, feeding my family. So when you phone me, I don't say I'm going to get back to you tomorrow or the next day. I'm going to get back to you today, because I want to eat today. I don't want to eat tomorrow. I don't want to eat next week. I want to eat today. And that is why I went out today, because that is how it works. If you want to eat next week, then you go out next week. But that is how I built my business. I built my business in respecting the people out there, because at the end of the day, they respected me enough to support me. And it was all about giving value. So remember, at the end of the day, the next day, when you actually say to somebody, I'm going to get back to you tomorrow, can you stay hungry until tomorrow? That's the question. So that is how I built it. We had a product. We managed to present it to very big companies like SAB, and we were very blessed at the end of the day to be able to be one of the people to roll out with this product. It put us on the map. It made us untouchable. It made us a force to be reckoned with, and from a nobody I became a somebody, And as somebody today is the person that is talking to you, and that is why I'm telling you, I am Kyriacos Eliades, the deal maker, the person that wants to make a difference in people's lives, because I've been blessed. I have been blessed, and I am grateful for everything. And I have had days where I haven't had money, and I've had days where I've had to struggle, but I was blessed. I was blessed to be rich in other things. The monies came later on in life. And today I see so many of these clients of mine so successful that I can picture them with the wheelbarrows going to fetch the beers. I remember the one day I was in a place called Boccabello. It was raining. My vehicle couldn't go up there to get to a shebeen. Couldn't get up there. And eventually, and I have the pictures, and if people want to see them, I'll gladly post them. And somewhere on my Facebook it is there, but I'm more than happy to repost them. And I couldn't get to the pool table to give service. What did I do? I took a donkey, a cart with 2 donkeys. Yes, 2 donkeys. And I went up there to go and service the pool table. So that's what I did. I went with a donkey, and I have the pictures. More than you guys can put in your comments there. You can actually ask me, and I'll gladly post them, and I'll show you how I went, because my vehicle couldn't go up there. So these are the type of things I've done, and I have sacrificed so much time and energy to give good service, and that is why I was always blessed. That is why I could take on these big guys, these guys who thought they were untouchable, the arrogance, all of that. When you're arrogant, you will fail. When you think you're untouchable, you will fail. When you think you're going to stay on top forever, you will fail, because there's always going to be somebody more hungry than you, somebody that's more determined than you, somebody that wants to give more value than you, that is going to take over that position. So you remember, never become arrogant. Never think that you can't fail, because you can fail. And I will talk about things that I have done. I've been there. I know what it's like. So, once again, I want to say thank you. That's my story out there. Please subscribe if you're liking it. And put in your comments. You want to see me how I went with a donkey? More than happy to share that with you. What I am saying is, give service. Look after your clients. Your clients will look after you, and you will end up making money. But you do find clients that don't see the value that you give in. Remember, if you're getting paid for it, so what? You're getting paid for it. That's what you want. And when you say tomorrow, or you say next week, can you stay without food until tomorrow or next week? Remember that. And once again, bless you all. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great month. Let's have a great year. We're all blessed, and we're all rich. Sometimes we're too blind to see it. Cheers.